Welcome back to What If Zuko Had Infinity Rocket Part 2, where we left off and sorry, my storage had, then the, was full, so, yeah. So, where we left off, the Zuko was basically, after he came back from that planet, his mind was completely changed from being the hero to being to enjoy his family. And yeah, and plus I remember he always or he caught all those bullets, how fast he was. He tells his own or tells that guy or no. When after they were all done with all that stuff, they went shopping. And plus Zumi was at school and her friends were talking about the how or they asked Zumi if how's her brother doing, as they're saying he's good, but he doesn't want to be a pro hero. As Ochako's like, wait, what? What do you mean? As he yeah. So Zuko actually they saw Zuko for a split second after he dropped off Zumi. He literally ran and back to home. They went to the mall and yeah. And then he got separated. Because now they're like pro heroes that Zumi he was in like her class. So and overhaul like where or actually Zuko says where did they go? Hmm. This is why I do not want to leave them. As he literally ran around trying to look for them, but he couldn't find them. As he looked the entire city and nothing. So he moves fast as you could see him be on one side of it as he looks and he says, I should probably check here as he knocks Are you in the government? Or with those pro heroes? No, I didn't. As he asked, I just wanted to ask if you've seen these two people. No. Okay. As he goes and he sees, or he goes in, or like they asked him to go in, but as he literally, when he walked in and after the overhaul thing, he actually was, he couldn't believe that when he was inside All for One's mind, he saw how devastating he did to Ares. As he literally slaughtered all the villains and took Ares over to the authorities. Like, he was gone in a mere instant. As he sets Ares down, as he says, okay. As, let's say Sir Night Eyes was trying to talk, but he got interrupted by, or so they looked and they saw or they heard that some weird guy, or so they actually went to where Overhaul was, or his lair, and when they opened the door, they see thousands or like unconscious bodies. I mean, like a hurricane just came in there and like knocked them all unconscious. So it was pretty gruesome scene. And there was a little letter hanging from a string. As they looked it, and it says, "You're reading this, or if you are, or if Zumi, or he Zumi, where is you and where's our parents?" I'm trying to find this. As they go back to home, or as and plus he also says, "Well, I also when the little girl went over to authorities." As yeah, as they couldn't believe that someone beats them to it. As he goes back to home, and there you two are. As Inko and Shashi were before they even walked upstairs to go to their house thing, as Inko turns around and sees Zuko, and she says, "Where have you been?" And well, I got lost, and I thought both of you were still out there. Oh, we left. We forgot to tell you that. As he tells her that, you don't know, or you who you know that I don't have a phone, right? That's what Zuko is saying to Zoom or Inko. Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. As they yeah. So bear with me now. So Zuko so now they moved to Nezu. So and after the overhaul thing was done, they were talking about how will we approach Zuko. Well, I think the way that the zero pointer hits him and sends him flying thing, I think that hit in that long period of time, has probably changed his mind. Don't you agree? Yes. But how will we approach him? Well, how about we ask him to go to UA? Because that's simple of a strength and speed. He must be a hero. Plus, his file of his power is Infinity Rocket. It allows user to go twice as fast as like Tenya's quirk. Like doubling it. Or tripling to make himself go faster and faster. Plus it has the other powers that can bend laws of physics. Like mind, soul, power, and everything. So basically, yeah. So they decide to go ask him. And they did that again, but without a zero pointer this time, because they don't want him to end up flying into somewhere else. That's a good idea. So they decided to ask him to join UA, as he says, okay. As long as I'm with somebody, not by myself. Because being on that planet with no life thing, really drives a man crazy. I mean, super dead serious. And he's so serious that even Nezu is like, okay, yeah. So, yeah. As he got the very high score, he broke the All Might's record, and he caught up on all of his work. So, to be with his sister. As some of his like classmates asked him how did it feel to be on Saturn or Mars. As he tells them, to be honest, the being on at Mars is pretty crazy. Easy. So, yeah. As it was pretty crazy. And when it would probably drive me insane, or it drove me insane because there was no life forms or no nothing. Plus, I had to train myself to not eat. You know how hard it was? As he, like, it was just him. Threw the ball. Well, and now the summer for everybody. So they went on to the beach. And they decide, as of course now the military, or not military, some random villains just abducted a one missile, or no, 500 missiles. And so Zuko ends up looking and he sees 500 missiles. As you know what he does? He ran so fast. And they looked at him and he was back before they even knew it. With 500 crates full of these stuff. As he says, man, those were easy pickings. As they're sweating bullets. Bullets. Like, Ochako's like thing. As one of the villains says, now, Rob. As they try to ram right into the dock. But he says, usually before they even, or let's say instead of like one ship, there was like the entire like 100 ships. As everyone's panicking, they all start running away. They try to call the pro heroes, but Zuko says, I will not allow these villains to interfere with my summer. As he puts a hand over his head and he slams them into the ground, and the entire water thing splitted basically into size of a one football field, like wide, but it's like a giant crack in the earth thing straight across. As everyone, even pro heroes are like, even Zumi saw her own brother splitted the seas. As 5, like, or no, 99% or 50% of those ships crashed into each other's. The other 15 or 50%, they were trying to drive away, but they ended up getting, or actually caught by it, and yeah. And so only 1%. Now 1% is pirate and boat, the captain's boat, was also, couldn't believe that his own crewmates are like, I meant 49%. So he comes and before he, or like after he pulled the bullet thing, as he caught the bullet and let it go because how fast he was. So yeah, he was so serious that even like probably they had to take a double look if Zuko, and they couldn't believe, as redheads even like, holy crud, your brother's pretty powerful. Heck, Bakugo was upset. Yeah. And did I forget to mention in the last part, or in the last video, Hazumi got one for all. But when All Might saw her brother being absolute savage, he literally like, as Zuko says this, I hope that, I know, of course Zuko says this, I know that, because he walked up to the captain and he says, usually being a pro hero, that means having responsibility and all that stuff. But you try to ruin our summer by attacking us. As everyone's terrified, he literally picks a captain up and he drags him out of the water, and as everyone's couldn't believe that as he gives the policeman that okay, as the captain was begging for his life, like, please just do it. By the way, here, that's all your crewmates. Not remains, but they're made a clone of them. As before. As they all couldn't believe how powerful he really gets. As he goes back and he grabs both water things, like, with his bare hands, pulls them together. Yeah. So, and then he starts swimming. He was so relaxed. And that even they're all terrified, but they all know that. So yeah. So Zuko, or so, and only person that is, or actually it was a girl fight thing between Ochako and Momo, who would win. And because Momo says is that I should be the one, or in her head she says I should be the one that dates him. As Ochako thinks the same thing. As they're trying to, like, they send sparks to each other's. As, yeah. As they, as, like, Aries have spent more time, quality time with Zuko as his friend, like, as her friend. So then Zuko, and rest of them were being a bit too turkey. Just so he spent, like, all that time. Sorry. So, and Midnight, or not Midnight, Mountain Lady tells them that good to have him back. As they're pretty terrified of his power, but he said, huh. Even Mirio, when he saw him splitting the seas and grabbing the both sides and closing it, is like, okay, that's pretty cool, actually. As his power, as he tells them that it wasn't my first time splitting something. Actually, he splitted a giant boulder. So then, so they're like, huh. So now, this is actually, when Ochako and Momo were talking, as Ochako had a good idea of something. As she tells Momo that, how about we both date him and get married to him, okay? As Momo is thinking, as she says, sure. As they both walked up to Zuko and asked him out on a date. As he says, sure. Where is that image? As he starts, or he said, sure, I'll date both of you. As then, after they got dating and got married, right? They both had 2 kids each, so that makes it 4. So, yeah. So Chaco got the one or both of them involves space and time, and the other would be like their creation and like all that stuff. So yeah. As the next, they actually, one of the villains sent a haymaker and to Zuko on one of the missions, but he left a like capture device thing, and he actually went all the way to that. So he came back to Earth again. Like he's like, I'm so sick and tired of getting whacked to the other planets. And Zumi was like, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm just ticked off. As yeah. So now, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment what is your favorite what ifs. If you have a suggestion for a next what if, put them in the comments below, please. So,